3D printing is becoming bigger and bigger in America, but for some businesses, it can be pretty pricey. Now, there's a new initiative in Auburn Hills that's looking to make it more accessible for people. So let's bring in Project Diamond CEO Pavan Muzumdar. Thank you for being here with us.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So if you could first tell us about your company and what you do.
Yeah, so Project Diamond is actually an initiative of Automation Alley. Automation Alley is a nonprofit, and we're actually funded by the state of Michigan, and we're headquartered in Oakland County. So Automation Alley is the Industry 4.0 Knowledge Center for the state of Michigan, and Industry 4.0 is basically this movement of technology taking over manufacturing. And one of the elements of that is 3D printing. So back when the pandemic hit, we actually did a project which was phase one of Project Diamond. Diamond stands for Distributed Independent Agile Manufacturing on Demand, where we distributed 3D printers to a small set of manufacturers, 250 in Oakland County and 50 in Macomb County, to basically help them learn 3D printing. But then we also said to them, you can use these 3D printers to print PPE. Remember the days PPE we were just struggling? So that was how Project Diamond was born, because we saw that manufacturing is becoming software-driven, additive, and distributed. And so unless Michigan, which dominates traditional manufacturing, doesn't retool to understand what this new wave of manufacturing is going to look like, we have a lot to lose, because so much of our economy is based on traditional manufacturing. And so that was just the foundation of Project Diamond. And interestingly, we didn't actually have to use the printers to print PPE for the pandemic, but we actually produced tourniquet clips for Ukraine after the Russian invasion. 10,000 components we shipped in like a week and a half in 2022. So we validated the network. And so this initiative that you talked about in Auburn Hills is now what we call Project Diamond Phase 2. In Phase 2, we're actually learning from Project Diamond Phase 1 lessons, where some companies took the technology, ran with it, and figured out what to do, all the cool stuff that they could do. Others were kind of struggling, so we said, you know what, we need to create something that's more of a unified experience, and that's what the Auburn Hills Center is. It's called the DTC, the Digital Transformation Center, and it houses more sophisticated equipment. It houses some other ancillary equipment to help our manufacturers understand 3D printing.
You mentioned how quickly you were able to manufacture those tourniquets, get those sent out. What are some of the benefits for companies when it comes to incorporating this kind of technology? Because it is very new.
It is. And probably the biggest benefit is that, fundamentally additive manufacturing or 3D printing is different. So traditional manufacturing is sort of two things. It's subtractive. You have a big block of material, you take material away. Or it's formative. You take material and you kind of make a shape out of it, right? Those are the two ways that traditional things are made. And because of those restrictions, when we make products, we have to kind of create like these components and put them all together, assembly. Additive manufacturing is different. Additive manufacturing, the material is laid layer by layer. So we can get very complex geometries and we can create very sophisticated products. Now, the reality is that the traditional manufacturing methods are not really quite ready for additive manufacturing, but I look at it as this is where you can conceive of a product and make it with a much smaller footprint, so to speak, in terms of your process, get it from design to conception, design to manifestation much, much faster.
Is there any concern there, though, that this would get in the way of some of those factory jobs, or are we just looking to add it to what you're already doing?
Not at all. In fact, what we think is that it actually provides more opportunity. We think one of the things we've seen is we have companies that are like, you know what, manufacturing was this hard, capital intensive, difficult work. Now, if I have to just think of a product and make it, many, many more companies can actually be making things. We have frontline workers conceiving of new products now in Project Diamond companies. So it's actually completely opening up, many, many more opportunities.
As you move forward and into more phases, what are you guys hoping to see in the future, and how can people learn more?
So right now, Project Diamond is in Oakland County. The governor announced in Mackinac that she wants to make this as one of the pillars of her economic plan. We would love to see Project Diamond in all the counties in Michigan. We would love to see this manufacturing wave, the new wave of manufacturing being dominated by Michigan, right? So that's the dream. And by the way, it doesn't have to stop in Michigan, because when we talk about bringing manufacturing back to the United States, this is one of those abilities because we're very innovative, and this is sort of a green space. No one really dominates this space, even though we do find Germany and China are starting to kind of really do well. No one's quite got it yet, so we have a huge opportunity to bring manufacturing back by using this 3D printing technology as the foundational base to do it.
Yeah, so stepping into the future. Is there anything else you want to add?
Well, we were actually, so the other thing is we also were listed in something called the SCSP. The SCSP is the Strategic Competitive Studies Project. It's a think tank out of Washington. It was founded by Eric Schmidt, who was the CEO of Google. And they looked at Project Diamond and they said that Project Diamond is one of the moonshots that they recommend for defense resilience. The defense industry is really looking at what does modern security look like, and manufacturing hasn't really caught up. And they looked at Project Diamond as, this is what we need to scale to not only bring that defense resilience, but also security back to the country.
All right. Well, we're wishing you the best, especially for you putting Michigan on the map like that. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.